Welcome, welcome. Today we are going to be talking about how to clear limiting beliefs and finally be able to charge $5, $10, or $20,000 for your coaching packages.
You're here to make a difference. It's our job to help you do that. Welcome to the Impact Driven Entrepreneur. We helps you to build a thriving coaching company by becoming a thriving, impactful CEO. We do that through the Impact Formula methodology. And what this means is that you're going to be selling out your offers, scaling beyond one-on-one into group programs, and leveraging a team so that you can exponentially increase your income and slash your work week. It's time to experience the true income, impact, and freedom you deserve.
Make sure you hit subscribe so that you catch all of our videos teaching you how to sell $5, $10, and $20,000 coaching packages that help your clients to get amazing results and create consistent recurring revenue in your business. Let's dig right in. Struggling coaches often make the mistake of thinking that just because they have never sold something for that higher ticket price point, whatever that is for you, that it is going to be hard. It is going to be difficult. They're not going to be able to sell it. And the reality is, just because you haven't done something doesn't mean that you can't do it. That is operating based off past programming or things in the past. And if you operate in that way, all you're going to do is recreate your past over and over and over again. And so I want you to think about this like a kid who is going to first grade for the very first time. Okay. Think about that child. He can't sit there and think, I can't go to first grade and not do it. Okay. Because the parents who are loving, supportive, and know that he is capable of so much more are holding that higher standard for that child. The parents would never allow him to just repeat kindergarten and over and over and over again, just because it's comfortable or just because it's something that they know. And so just like that, we are going to apply that into our coaching. If you are serious about raising your rates, whatever that looks like for you, maybe it's $5,000 for your coaching package, $10,000, $20,000 for your coaching packages. And all of these are extremely realistic figures for you to charge. Again, we're not going to be talking about all of the business side of it in terms of how you can charge that or what to include in these types of packages or who to market these packages to. We can go into that in more detail in future videos. If you're interested in that and there is demand, go ahead and leave me a comment below and I'm happy to do more videos on that. In this video, we're going to focus around reprogramming your brain so that these price points that are the next level for you are possible in your mind first, that are something that you know, believe, and command of yourself to charge, and do so in a way that is both loving, supportive towards you, and also loving and supportive to your clients. So let's dig into the reprogramming piece. What we're going to do is we're going to hold ourselves to this higher standard, and we are going to ask ourselves to raise up our expectations of ourselves, our mindset, how we think about things. And that, in order to do that, we're going to use reprogramming to make that happen. If your brain is going to, I can't do this, or it's wrong for me to do this, or I don't know if I'll be able to, or what if nobody buys, or what if I look, greedy or dumb for charging this much, or any of those thoughts that go against you knowing, believing, and owning 100% of the value that you bring, that is the perfect opportunity for you to dig in and start to do some of the exercises that we're going to go through in this video. So the process for reprogramming is quite simple. Reprogramming happens through repetition plus emotion. Okay. Now, we must do both in order to reprogram something like this. If we only do repetition, but there's no emotion, this often happens with affirmations or things that we're just repeating over and over again. It takes exponentially more repetition, and it's much harder to program and rewire those neural pathways. If, in contrast, we have high emotion and only one or two repetitions of it, we end up, almost in a PTSD, or that is oftentimes what happens with like trauma and PTSD, which is totally not what we're going for here. And so we need to have a good blend of both repetition and emotion. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through some of the things that you want to think about in order to bring up the emotion. And I'll share with you how you can create repetition with this exercise at the end. First, think about all of the things that you have learned, that you have accomplished, or that you have been able to do that would help your potential clients for this offer. So maybe you went and got a degree in a specific field that taught you several skills. Maybe they're not directly related, but they taught you some skills that were useful along the path. Maybe you overcame a similar situation. Maybe you have helped somebody else to overcome that situation. Perhaps you invested in courses, in programs of different types to learn the skills that that you're bringing into the coaching with your clients. Maybe you invested in being certified or some sort of training to help you become a better coach. Maybe you are always, even if it's not something formal, right? Maybe you're always watching videos about it or reading books about the topic that you feel passionate about teaching and coaching your clients around. Maybe you have some work experience that somehow relates from your past. Now, let's have a moment to feel proud of yourself for all that you have accomplished, the wisdom that you have amassed through this process. And that is a really powerful and abundant place for you to start thinking about the next piece. Let's take a look at what your ideal client is currently struggling with. What is so bad about it? What is the day-to-day like struggle and pain that they're feeling in this situation? How do they feel now that they are stuck here? Has it ever dawned on you that what you have learned will shortcut the path to where they're trying to go, or at the very least ease the journey and make it bearable for them if you share what you have? Imagine what it would have been like especially if you've gone through that same scenario or seen somebody else go through that same scenario. Imagine what it would be like if that person received the wisdom that you are holding. How much more supported they would feel in their life, how much better, faster, easier it would be for them to go through this hump. And isn't that worth only $10,000, only $5,000, only $20,000 if they can get to the results faster because of what you have shared with them? Imagine the sacrifice, the strife, the difficulties that would be completely obliterated in some situations, and in many situations greatly diminished because of what you have in your hands right now. Now, for some of you, you're like, yeah, I mean, it's only 20,000 or only 10,000 or only 5,000. But what if I can't get them those results? What if I can't do it? Here's the thing. Your job is to show up to the coaching agreement that you have made with them. Your job is to offer the wisdom, to share it with them, to guide them, to coach them. Your job is not to do it for them. So at the end of the day, it's like that good old saying says, is you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make a horse drink. And if you have done your part of the agreement and you have shared the information, it's up to them what they want to do with that. And so don't judge yourself based on that. In fact, the reality is, being a coach for the last 7, almost 8 years, I can share with you, there is just a very small fraction of people who don't get the results. It's 100% because they didn't implement it. And number one. Number two, I would never judge myself and give up the opportunity for everyone else that I had helped because 1 or 2 people didn't do the work. In fact, I am grateful that I still went forward and did everything that I have done because everybody else was helped in the process. And I will share this. I had one client who really, really struggled. She really did not want to implement. I mean, even like when I said certain things, she was so triggered. And a year and a half later, she comes back to me and she was like, listen, I have to apologize because I've been working with a different coach and I finally got that everything that you were telling me, it was exactly the same. I just wasn't in a place where I could make those changes. I wasn't in a place where I could receive that information. But what you were saying was 100% right. And so I just want to share that with you because it is so worth it for all the other clients that will get results, for you to show up for them and for you to show up for yourself and your business and your goals. And in addition, they will come around when they are ready to make those changes, whether that's during the time that you're coaching them or maybe months, years later. And none of that part of their implementation has anything to do with you if you have done your part. Now, that doesn't mean we just unintentionally build a program or don't do our part to try to get people to implement. That is part of our job, but we are not going to grade ourselves on whether one specific person implements or not. Now that we have gone through this emotion, right? And it's time to talk about repetition. So now that you've gone through, okay, this is what I actually offer and the wealth of knowledge that I have amassed. Here is what my ideal client is going through and how difficult it is for them. And if I just put those two together, I can create this beautiful thing that is transformational for my clients. Now that we have gotten here, the next piece of reprogramming is for you to create some repetition. So there are some options here for you. Number one, you can just rewatch this video and sit down and really journal it out, with the video, pause the video, journal. You can listen to it as you're driving the car and by the way, listen, don't watch, but, listen to it while you're driving the car and come up with all of those thoughts that take you through that emotion. Or you could just write it down on a piece of paper and review it every day. Okay. And just go through your journal and review those key pieces every day until you feel like, okay, yes, the value of this program really is worth exponentially more than what I'm charging. And it is a win-win situation, both for the client and for our business. Okay. So that is the repetition piece. You have multiple ways that you can approach that. So if you know of a single person that would benefit from this video, please go ahead and share this video with them so that they can start to reprogram around their pricing and be able to charge higher ticket pricing for their coaching offers. And I will say this final note, if you're struggling with this higher ticket concept, we have podcasts about undercharging and over delivering and why charging premium pricing actually helps your clients more to get results. So go ahead and check out our podcast, or we'll link to it in the show notes. Hit subscribe for more videos on how to grow your profitable, successful business that creates consistent recurring revenue. Remember, you are capable, you are strong, and you are here to make a difference. Go out there today and do just that. Have an awesome day.